Democratic Senate candidate James Tallarico's effort to flip a Texas Senate seat blue relies in no small part on highlighting his Republican opponent Ken Paxton's lengthy list of scandals. Now he's going to court to get even more information. Today, the Tallarico campaign is filing a legal motion to unseal 2 depositions Ken Paxton gave in 2019 and 2022. A source tells MS Now the campaign has reason to believe Paxton admitted to crimes in one of those depositions related to, but separate from, the securities fraud charges he faced years ago. But that source didn't provide additional details, and MS Now has no information to back that claim up. The charges against Paxton were dropped, and he has always maintained his innocence. I want to bring MS Now Capitol Hill reporter Kevin Fry, who brought us that reporting, along with Republican strategist and MS Now political analyst Matthew Bartlett. Thank you both. Kevin, I have covered the Texas Senate race, and what I have heard over and over is that they were excited, the Tallarico campaign, at getting the chance to go against Paxton because they felt like the corruption angle was going to be their best angle. This is clearly the next iteration of that plan. What else do you know?
Yeah, I mean, certainly this is kind of like this week's version of how do we go after him on this corruption piece. They have, of course, gone after him on the impeachment trial. They have gone after him under that fraud case, as you mentioned. When it comes to this situation, what we know is that, and I should say, this case that these depositions were given in is incredibly convoluted. If you read through it, it's hard to even describe in a few sentences. But nonetheless, and perhaps the most important part here is that he gave depositions in 2019 and 2022, and it's one of these rare instances where Paxton actually sat down and spoke under oath. And there was a Wall Street Journal report from earlier this year that during the 2019 deposition, Paxton came close to or outright admitted that he essentially violated attorney-client privilege. Now, the Paxton campaign has dismissed that report and pushed back on that assertion from the Wall Street Journal. Nonetheless, this gives Tallarico's team, argues, grounds to try to get these 2 transcripts released. Here's part of what they say in that filing: that existing public reporting suggests that Paxton's testimony raises substantial ethical questions. Texans have the right to know what Paxton said under oath in these proceedings and see the whole story before they go to the polls in November. Now, I've reached out to the Paxton team and specifically asked, would he be open to releasing these depositions? And did he, as that source claims, admit to crimes in that the 2022 deposition? And they did not directly engage with those questions, but part of the statement they sent me in response was that Tallarico's far-left democratic socialist ideas would raise prices even higher on Texans, which is why he's now lying at every turn. This is nothing more than a desperate attempt to hide his own extremism, and Texans will see right through it. But nonetheless, as you mentioned, obviously this is the next step for the Tallarico campaign, because even if they are not able to win this legal pursuit, they will get to reassert these 2 depositions and create another day or 2 of news cycles about the various questions about Paxton's past.
Yeah, reminding voters what they maybe don't like about Paxton. You heard that, Matthew Bartlett. That was a non-denial denial. We all know what those are like. The impeachment, the securities fraud case, none of it stopped him from beating a sitting senator to be the nominee. Why now? Why do you think these are the kinds of things that voters may think differently in Ruby Red, Texas?
Well, we're in a general election. And Eugene, as Kevin just outlined, this Ken Paxton opposition file might be arriving by dump truck. Right. There's a lot coming, and maybe even more. So now again, Republicans think this is Texas. This is Ruby Red, Texas. Sometimes you got to get out of the U.S. and get yourself down to Texas. Right. But we are looking at that race. We keep looking at the polls. We keep looking at the money. And there's an acknowledgement that we are losing this race right now. Even conservative cable news show hosts are saying, where is Ken Paxton? He's not even campaigning, much less campaigning well. So this is a race that, again, has the GOP on edge. Questions as to who broke it, who buys it, where does the money come from in terms of ads. So, again, right now, this is a toss-up, but not looking good for us right now.
I mean, he's dodging questions at press conferences. Paxton is. He's not talking to reporters in the way that other folks are. And Tallarico's
remember, where was he on the 4th of July? Well, we were all celebrating America 250. Was he
overseas?
He was overseas in London.
And people in Texas, as someone who has lived there, don't like that. Kevin Fry and Matthew Bartlett, thank you both so much for coming to On the Line.